Hey hello, here in this summary today I'm going to explain a horror drama movie and sci-fi call style spoilers. Ahead, attention, be careful. In an apocalyptic world, a woman called Juliet walks a desolate land and find resources to help you survive. She makes sure to arm herself with a pistol ready to use against anything or person if necessary. One day she decides to stop at a gas station, hoping to find food. There only to run away after hearing a creature growling and moving in the top floor in her vehicle. Juliet communicate with her friend Harry of hers that she wants know if she has managed to gather food for her group of 39 people. Her Juliet then says that the gas station is empty and that she will take a shortcut back to her base in a hurry to finish her conversation since her battery is dying. Exhausting on the way home, she crosses with a motorhome where she finds a seriously injured man pointing her gun at the stranger. Juliet demands to know where she has gone. Creature, to which the old man responds that she has managed to close it. Julian Caravan finds out then that there are also preserves inside your vehicle, and when she is about to enter, the man asks him to finish his suffering, says that she does not want to be eaten by a monster, or as she calls a Grim Reaper, but Juliet won't. Wasting a bullet on carefree Juliet tells her to choose between dying, taking his hands off the wound, or live and come with her. Having wasted enough time, Juliet enter the caravan and fight the Grim Reaper. The windows break and the vehicle shakes, but in the end Juliet kill the exhausted creature. She leaves the caravan and finds the dead man on the ground before take all her valuables and her food stocks. Now back to road. Juliet drives calmly while she looks at a picture of her with a man without. However, the photo of her is suddenly taken away. The wind what makes Juliet get distracted and lose control of her vehicle when she tries to retrieve it. As result, the car rolls over several times before Juliet loses the knowledge. In a flashback, Juliet is seen in an art gallery years before of the apocalyptic event. The owner of the gallery, she came over and tried to flirt with Juliet, who was not in the mood for the Juliet company, then admitted that he was only there because it was raining. It was something that Jack didn't care about. While it was still raining, Jacques urged to a disinterested Juliet to watch the beautiful works of art that surrounded her, asking him to open his eyes. Back to the present, Juliet recovers the consciousness and she feels the sharp pain of an open fracture in his leg. Juliet also realizes that she has lost her pistol. Seeing her some yards from her, Juliet tries then unsuccessfully asking for help with her radio, and since the Grim Reapers are more active by the night, she must quickly find a way to retrieve the firearm from her with a makeshift rod. Julieta. She reaches for her gun and almost gets it, only to fail after the rod. Separate in another flashback, Juliet leaves the gallery with Jacques, and she eats while she walks down the street. She falling for her joke that her food she had meat, of course being vegetarian. Julian spit immediately what she was eating, but she didn't get mad when she found out that Jackson was kidding him. Juliet then accepted the offer of Jacques going with him to his apartment, where she was amazed to see how beautiful, which was her house. The two took some glasses and a little cheese, and while they talked, Juliet had a hard time opening up, since she even refused to tell him her name when she asked him, and suddenly she insisted on leaving, but after convince her he finally told her his name. And since she told him hers later, Jacques saw Juliet again. She was with another man in a bar with great curiosity since she followed Juliet. And the guy outside where she saw him pay to Juliet in exchange for some substance. Since she watched as Juliet refused to being kissed by the man and following her, she found out that she was a trafficker. Juliet had to buy her apartment to another man to whom she is indebted, and once inside, Jacques discovered the poor Juliet's situation was she not knowing what to do since she tried make small talk, but Juliet just found it irritating and she yelled. She even tried to offer to Juliet some help, but she refused. She adamantly, and she ordered him to leave already. That she then felt bad for having followed Juliet to her house, and once that she injected something, she realized that the woman she liked too. She was a disappointed drug addict since she finally left the apartment. Juliet on it. Juliet finally gets it free her leg from being stuck in the steering wheel after having a tourniquet. Juliet washes her wound with alcohol, and she faces the excruciating pain pushing the bone. That she stands out in her place after Juliet bandages her wound and fixes her radio to make a call to Harry, informing him that she is hurt. Juliet, she is totally frustrated because no one she answers him, but when she hears that a Grim Reaper approaches her, crawls quickly out of the car, retrieve the gun from her. Juliet remains in silence while she looks at the Grim Reaper ready to shoot him in case for her to see her. However, the silence breaks because of Harry's call, so Juliet is forced to throw away her radio out to distract the creature. Juliet is almost certain that the Grim Reaper will find her, but the monster hears suddenly to another Grim Reaper from the distance and walks away, leaving Juliet relieved. Now alone, Juliet replaces her bullets for new ones in the past. A ruin gives Juliet visits since in her apartment Jack didn't even ask what had happened, and she just cleaned it. She tending to her wounds before leaving her in a room to sleep. Next, Juliet thanked Jack and met him for breakfast. Jacques opened up to Juliet about of her past, of her saying that she had fought for a while in the USA after death of her parents, but that she had achieved adapt by telling Juliet, "How are you?" Maybe she could do the same and safely. Juliet asked Jacques if she could walk around the block to drink the air, but since he knew that she needed a dose, offended Julia. She tried to leave only to find out that the elevator was not working. Then she demanded that Jacques let her go, but he refused and told her firmly that she would stay with him until she was clean. Enraged, Juliet began to throw a tantrum and break things of Jacques, but this one was not left intimidate and hugged her tightly until that he calmed down, coming to kiss her on the apocalyptic era. Juliet throws some light bars outside to see if there is a Reaper nearby. When nothing happens, Juliet heads slowly towards the radio of her still conscious from her surroundings. Suddenly from her Juliet I heard a sound from behind, so she throw more glow sticks in different directions until she finds a match that on top of her car. He shoots her. She to the creature and returns to her vehicle, where she calmly waits for the Grim Reaper. Then the pair that appears behind and pull the cover off the window before reaching the foot of Juliet, struggling to break free. Juliet, she starts the car and hits the gas, making the wheels turn and love Juliet. The monster returns to wait for the Grim Reaper, shooting a couple of times when she sees her run without knowing that she is already inside the vehicle behind. She scared Juliet shoots the Grim Reaper and makes her run away before trying fix her radio with his hands. Shaky Juliet then tries drink some alcohol to calm her nerves, but she realizes that her flask is empty. In another flashback, she sees Jack and Juliet moving into her new house. Juliet is delighted with Jacques, but at the same time, she is nervous about the changes in her lives of hers. So since she gently touches her face to make her smile, then already she showed him the room that she would have her future son. But Juliet was not sure to be a good mother and do happy to a son or daughter. However, Jacques was not worried about that, because she believed that the most important thing to do was trying to make things work before exploring the other parts of the house. Since he asked Juliet to, she said that she loved him, and although she didn't, she said directly he surely could feel it. Later, Juliet reported to Jacques de Malagana that she was pregnant. What she made the man be will thrill. Unfortunately, Juliet gave birth to a stillborn baby, and the couple had to bear the pain of coming home to an empty children's room. Back to the depressing reality of Juliet. This one finally gets to fix her radio, and she gets in touch with Harry, sharing her situation with him and location of her and Juliet. I just heard him talk of a locator beacon after its Juliet conversation gets the beacon, and she struggles to follow instructions of the manual. When the beacon finally it works, Juliet starts barricading the windows just to realize that a Grim Reaper is waiting for her outside. Her creature tries to enter the vehicle as Juliet presses her foot against the cover of the window, and finally she marches after hurting her fingers. So Juliet secures the lid with a rod and she prepares to shoot, while the creature hits repeatedly her vehicle from different directions. Suddenly, Juliet receives a call from Harry, and she informs him that she is being attacked for a Grim Reaper. So her friend instructs her to use her flashlight on Harry is sure the Grim Reaper she'll be gone, since they hate bright lights. But Juliet tells her that her flashlight is broken now that Harry and company they are about to rescue Juliet. She just has to wait a little longer, but the creature is far from giving up. Try to reach Juliet and break the car windshield, now exposed to. Juliet turns on the headlights and finally she drives away the Juliet monster. So she calls Harry once the Grim Reaper is gone, and she asks him when they will arrive, but man apologizes, tells him that he will not be rescued until dawn, returning to past since he scolded Juliet for running away. He was always sick of worrying about her every time she disappeared, but Juliet wasn't listening to Jacques. Then she told Jacques to admit that she blamed for the loss of her baby, but the man said that was not true. Juliet also told her that she had pushed to have a child despite that she didn't want to, but since neither he even argued with her about it. Fed up since she got out of the car, and she pretended, the meter admitting finally to Juliet that the fact that she was a drug addict before was the reason why her baby died, since she also ended her relationship before walk away. And while Julian cried, she yelled that she didn't need him any more. Hours late, after a few drinks at a bar, Juliet found out on the news that there had been an attack on the subway station where they had killed more than 30 people. Then answered the call that she had been ignoring, horrified to discover that since she was among the wounded, and she quickly marches back to the present. Juliet hears a car go by and knocks the horn, hoping to call her Her attention a motorcycle stops then and the man who approaches her. He promises to help you unfortunately. Man is a cannibal who is determined to kill Juliet and while she tries stab her the Grim Reaper appears and attacks the cannibal then the pair that crushes without cannibal's skull mercy doing that her friends leave in a hurry. After seeing how the Grim Reaper feasts with cannibal Juliet checks the number of bullets you have left placing. She slowly put the gun under her chin. While Juliet contemplates the possibility of committing suicide she remembers suddenly the aspect of sins in the hospital the night of the subway attack. Her larynx and her trachea were burned because Del is used in the attack leaving him. She unable to speak when Juliet enters Jacques' room and excuse me immediately with him about what happened and Jacques can only touch the thick plastic that separates them using a whiteboard and a marker pen a weak Jacques. Juliet says that he loves her and asks her to. She never gives up and while Juliet think about it she suddenly lowers the gun determined to survive. Juliet pulls out a flare and 2 containers of vehicle fuel by spraying one of them with gasoline next. She lights the sparkler and waves it to bring the Grim Reaper and when she does that, she drives up to the container she has prepared a while before when the creature stands on soil soaked with Juliet fuel shoots the can to kill her with the explosion but the creature survives and escapes once more. In danger Juliet is kept in guard and she looks for the Grim Reaper without knowing that is behind her. The Grim Reaper grabs then to Juliet and makes her drop her gun so she creeps fast into the car though. The creature grabs her leg and try to get her out of it by making her that her hurt blood a lot. Juliet continue then struggling but the Grim Reaper pulls her out of the vehicle and throws it to the ground with which approaching her Juliet uses the weapon that she has managed to pick up and shoots the Grim Reaper twice crying once. She realizes that her problem has finished while Juliet watches the stars. The bitter memory of death of Jacques invades from suddenly her mind when the creature moves suddenly and she crawls towards Juliet but she doesn't get to shoot him since she didn't bullets left. Juliet rushes to reload her gun scared by the possibility of dying at any moment now that the Grim Reaper is upon her. Juliet can only stay she still as she gently touches her face making him see that she is yak jollier. She remembers then the day she met Jacques where the man told him that she believed in destiny and that the universe she had a way of bringing people together. Being a skeptical person she asked Jacques what would you do if she was leaving at that time so as a great romantic gesture as she closed the gallery and she decided to accompany the house. Returning to the present Juliet cries as she finally tells Jacques that she loves him below. Juliet hugs Jacques as he lays his head down in his and now that she has finally found the way back, she decides that together they must go further and so the movie ends. Subscribe to see more videos like this, activate the notifications and leave a like for help the channel. Thanks for watching.